Hi, and welcome back to another video for Carnivore Fit Mom. In this video, I just wanted to share about how I became a carnivore as I was looking for a way to cure my unexplained seizures. So back in 2013, I had an 8-week-old baby, my little boy, and I had an unexplained seizure for the first time ever in my life. And so I was rushed to the hospital. The hospital couldn't do much of anything. They just referred me to a specialist. So I made an appointment with the specialist. I went to go see him, and he just wanted to basically put me on medication. I refused medication, mostly because I'm just not someone who is into taking medication, but also because I was breastfeeding at the time, and there was no guarantee that the medication would not go into my breast milk, and I just did not want to risk that at all. So, as I said, I just refused the medication, and strangely, I never had another seizure for 3 years, which makes sense now, and I will get to that. But in 2016, I had another seizure, and I began having them more periodically, and they were getting more frequent and more severe. So I decided I had to find some way to prevent these seizures from continuing, mostly because of my child who was with me the majority of the time, and also because if you are someone who has seizures, you understand the damage that they cause you, not just on a physical level, but mentally and emotionally. You feel like your body just betrays you and like you have no control over it. And every time I would have one, I would go into a depressive state, and it would be very hard to dig myself out of it. And when I had a small child, you know, that's hard to wake up and be mom every day, and it was not a good situation. And if you've had seizures, or you know all about what I'm talking about. So anyway, I just went on a mission to find a natural remedy and to get rid of this once and for all. So I started researching, and I came across a video on YouTube. It's very random how I came across it. It's a video a guy made for his sister, saying that basically he believed that her seizures were from her Starbucks drinks, the Frappuccinos and things like that, because they have an insane amount of sugar and caffeine. And we know that sugar is very toxic to your brain. It swells your brain. It does horrible, horrible things to your brain and your body. And so it just kind of, it just made sense for me that, that could be the cause of it, because although I was not consuming a lot of sugar because I was breastfeeding still at the time, I breastfed my son until he was almost 4, until he just self-weaned. I knew that I was consuming things like fruits and things that you think are these safe, sugary things that are basically just sugar. Like, sugar is sugar, and even though it's fruit, it's still not necessarily good for you. It can be a lesser of an evil, but it's still not good. So anyway, and that's what I wanted to say. That explains to me now why I did not have a seizure for those 3 years, because I believe it was due to not having a lot of sugar because of the breastfeeding, because I was afraid it would go into my milk and make my son act crazy or whatever, and I wasn't consuming a lot of caffeine. But in 2016, I had began working again. I opened a little shop, and I started having cold brew coffees every day. I had, sugary stuff all the time. So it made sense that that's what prompted those to come back. But anyway, as I was researching and I found that video, I decided to go back on keto. I had been low carb before for a little bit. I saw some results, but I just didn't stick to it. And now that I could see the benefit to me as far as the seizures, I knew I was going to go on keto, and I was going to stick to it, and no sugar whatsoever. So on January 11th of 2019, I cut out all sugar once and for all. No fruit, no nothing. So anyway, I started to notice, actually ever since January, I have never had another seizure since then. And as I was on keto, I started noticing, how amazing I was feeling. I was losing body fat just very easily, and I was just loving the benefits of the keto way of eating. So I eventually transitioned to carnivore that May of 2019, and I have continued on that ever since. I don't have any kind of physical symptoms. Seeing the auras or feeling dizzy or lightheaded or anything like that, I just feel amazing. And I know that it is the no sugar and the keto and the carnivore lifestyle that has kept the seizures away. I'm no longer poisoning my brain, and I feel like I did have some memory loss probably during that time. You know, the seizures just really wreak havoc on your brain, and I feel like everything is just healed now. I feel just wonderful. So if you are someone out there, and remember, this is not medical advice, if you're someone out there who has unexplained seizures, or you know what's causing your seizures and you're trying to find a natural way to cure it, I would start with absolutely no sugar, meaning no fruit, no anything that is sugary in any sort of way. You know, go on keto, go on carnivore, and just avoid any and all sugars, even the artificial sweeteners that are keto friendly. Just avoid all of it. No stevia, no any of that. Just avoid it all and see how you feel then. And I know that it can completely help you, and just give yourself time to heal, give your brain time to heal, and that is what has worked for me. So I hope that this can help someone else out there. Thank you.